In a world ruled by deception, one man vows to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. You think you can hide from me? For Detective Marlow, the hunt is personal. This city has no room for secrets. Why are you doing this? Because I know the truth, but as the walls close in, the hunter becomes the hunted. How far will I go to destroy myself? This January, truth has a price. Marlow sat hunched over his desk, the flickering light of his desk lamp casting long, jagged shadows on the walls of his office. A growing collection of photographs, documents, and hastily scribbled notes sprawled across the surface, creating a chaotic mosaic of obsession. His eyes, bloodshot and unyielding, scanned a list of names he'd pulled from police archives. At the center of his focus was a web of connections that seemed too coincidental to ignore. At first, the names had seemed innocuous. Politicians, wealthy donors, respected community leaders. But the deeper he dug, the more he noticed an unsettling pattern. Donations to obscure organizations, frequenting the same private events, and cryptic mentions of a safe space in casual conversations. Marlow's pulse quickened as he pieced together the fragments of information. It wasn't just a club, it was a network. And the people tied to it weren't just members, they were protectors. His gut churned as he found yet another lead that pointed to someone high up in the city council. They're covering for each other, he muttered under his breath, his voice barely audible over the rustle of papers. The realization hit him like a sledgehammer. This wasn't just about exposing a secret club. It was about dismantling a system. And yet, even as clarity sharpened his resolve, a quiet voice whispered warnings of the dangers he was courting. The higher up he looked, the harder the fall would be. As the days passed, Marlow's paranoia deepened. Everywhere he went, he felt eyes on him, at the precinct, in coffee shops, even during his late-night drives through the city. His unease came to a head one evening when he parked his car outside a council member's estate. He had no intention of trespassing. He just needed to confirm his suspicions. The estate was cloaked in darkness, save for the faint glow of a single light in the study. Through binoculars, Marlow could see the councilman sitting at his desk, speaking animatedly on the phone. Suddenly, a second figure appeared in the room, a man Marlow recognized from one of the photos linked to the club. His grip on the binoculars tightened as he watched their interaction, the conversation too muffled to discern. A loud knock on his driver's side window nearly made him drop the binoculars. He whipped around to see a uniformed security guard glaring at him. "What are you doing here?" the guard demanded, his tone sharp and accusatory. Marlow fumbled for an excuse, his heart racing. "Just lost, I guess," he stammered. The guard didn't seem convinced, but after a tense moment, he stepped back. "Move along," he warned. As Marlow drove away, he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd been noticed, and not just by the guard. Hours later, as he reviewed his notes in the dim glow of his office, he thought back to the encounter. Why had the security guard appeared so suddenly? Did they know he was coming? The possibility gnawed at him, heightening his suspicion that his investigation was no longer under the radar. Back at the precinct, Marlow's behavior grew increasingly erratic. He pored over files with an intensity that bordered on manic, snapping at colleagues who interrupted him. Lawson, his partner, tried to intervene. "Marlow, you've got to let this go," Lawson said one afternoon, pulling him aside. "You're seeing conspiracies where there are none. You're going to destroy yourself." "You don't get it," Marlow shot back, his voice low but laced with venom. "They're everywhere. The council, the precinct, maybe even higher up. If we don't act, they'll destroy everything." Lawson's eyes softened with concern. "Listen to yourself. You sound unhinged. Take a step back before you ruin your career. Or worse." Marlow ignored the advice, retreating into the cocoon of his office. As he reviewed the evidence again, his phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "You're digging too deep. Stop before it's too late." The message sent a jolt of fear through him, but it also solidified his resolve. Whoever sent it knew what he was doing, and that meant he was on the right track. But as the hours crept by, the text lingered in his thoughts. Who had sent it? Was it a warning or a threat? The unease followed him home, where every creak of the floorboards and every shadow outside his window felt like a harbinger of something sinister. He began to double lock his doors, draw his blinds tightly, and keep his gun within arm's reach at all times. Still, sleep eluded him. Late that night, Marlow's paranoia reached a breaking point. As he drove home from the precinct, he noticed a black sedan following him. He took a series of random turns, but the car stayed on his tail. His palms grew slick with sweat as he accelerated, weaving through the quiet streets. When he finally pulled into a desolate parking lot, the sedan stopped a few yards away. Marlow stepped out of his car, his hand instinctively reaching for his weapon. "Who's there?" he called, his voice echoing in the empty lot. The driver's door of the sedan opened, and a man in a sleek black suit stepped out, his movements calm and deliberate. "Detective Marlow," the man said, his tone smooth but menacing. "You've been asking the wrong questions, and now you've attracted the wrong kind of attention." Marlow raised his gun. "Stay back," he warned. "Who are you? Who are you working for?" The man smirked, taking a step closer. "You think this is about justice? About some moral crusade? You're a pawn in a game you don't even understand. Walk away while you still can." Before Marlow could respond, the man turned and got back into the sedan. The car sped off, leaving Marlow standing alone in the lot, his mind racing with questions. His grip on his gun tightened as he realized the truth. He wasn't just fighting a hidden community. He was up against a force far more powerful and far more dangerous than he'd ever imagined. And they were watching his every move. Their presence a shadow that loomed over every decision, every step, and every breath he took. An invisible hand steering the course of his unraveling fate, waiting for the perfect moment to tighten the noose. Want to know what happens next? I won't spoil it for you here. You can dive into the full story in this amazing ebook. It's packed with twists, suspense, and a conclusion that will blow your mind. The full story is waiting for you. Just click the link pinned in the comments section and grab your copy. You'll be glad you did. So, what are you waiting for? Unlock the full adventure now, and let me know what you think of the ending. It's unforgettable, and that's where this episode ends. But trust me, the story is just getting started. In the next part, things take an unexpected turn, and secrets you never saw coming will be revealed. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, so you're the first to catch the next episode. And if you're as hooked as I am, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Got any theories or guesses about what might happen next? Share them, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Gay Hunter. Until then, stay curious and stay tuned.